Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. It's Adunni here again, and in today's video I'll be showing you guys how to prep your closure for a perfect knotless braid, because you don't want to mess it up. And this is what it will be looking like at the end if you watch this video up until the very end. So the closure I'll be using, I already stitched it to my dome cap. I'm using a dome cap, and I already attached my elastic, and I normally use an adjustable elastic for my wigs because it's actually very comfortable. If it's too tight for you, you can adjust it, and if it's too big for you, you can adjust it. So it's very comfortable, and this is like my all-time favorite elastic to use, except I find something better, but for now this is what I use. So the closure I used is handmade, and it came in 13 by 6, which was too long for the size of cap I was doing. So I cut off just this excess parts that you guys are seeing in the video to get the perfect size of wig that I need. And I'm going to be using my leave-in conditioner, guys. I literally can use this thing for anything. I love it so much. Since I started transitioning my hair, it's been very helpful. And this T-pin is just to hold my cap in place on my mannequin head that you guys can see in the video. So I am trying to look for this smaller tailor pin. I don't know if it's tailor pin or my mom said it's notice board pin. So those colored pin, I think they're actually more affordable, and you can work better with that, because T-pins are a bit more expensive compared to the colored pins. I'm sure you guys will see it in my next tutorial by the time I find it, and I'll probably be using it in my next tutorial, so you guys would see what I am referring to in my next tutorial. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Join this sweet gang, join this sweet babes, and learn something new every week. And you can save money while learning, and you can also start your own business while learning on this channel. So I am actually just separating the baby hairs from the main closure. I'm sorry, I don't know when my camera lost focus, but we actually got back in place. I didn't know it actually lost focus or lost its place. So I basically just used my T-pin to hold my cap down to the mannequin head, and I am pleating the baby hair part aside so it doesn't get mixed up with my closure, my frontal, and to avoid, because it just makes your work easier, it makes your work neater when you separate your baby hairs before going ahead to start working with either your frontal or your closure. And that is just to remind you guys, I also have a video on how to prep your closure for a perfect knotless braid, or for a braid, or you can actually even use the same prep for locks or passion twist or anything you actually want to do. But this video we're focusing on frontal prep. So after I made sure that my baby hair was set aside and that was out of the way, I went ahead to apply some of the leave-in conditioner I showed you guys earlier on the hair, and I'm sure you can notice the difference. Like, there's a little bit of shine now compared to earlier. So now I am dividing my entire frontal into 3 equal parts. That can be a bit tricky, but if you can't get the 3 parts to be equal, just divide it to the barest closest like, just divide it as okay as you can divide it. Like, the space between them, or the volume between them, should not be too much. So just try and make sure that they are at least a bit equal to an extent. I kept on going until I was okay with what I had achieved after parting them into 3 equal parts, because it can actually be very tricky, because it's actually a lot of hair. And that is why when you see your hairstylist making your hair in the salon, they keep going. I'm sure if it was easier, or if it was a good idea, people will even be using ruler or tape rule to measure hair. So I took the first part of the 3 parts that I had cut, and I went ahead to line it individually to the size of to the size of braid that I am going for. So this knotless braid that I want to make, it's like small braid, like small size knotless braid. So you would notice that my pattern, or the pattern of the hair that I am going to be doing as you're watching this video, is actually small, or is smaller compared to a previous tutorial you guys might have seen on my channel. So this is a small knotless braid like this. By the time I finish this tutorial of this knotless braid, and you guys see it, even the color choice alone, God, I'm not going to make mouths, so let's keep recording this one, and you'll see the final outcome when I post the full video. So depending on the size of braids you're going for, if you're going for something bigger, you definitely want to make your pattern bigger. But for me, I was going for something smaller, and that was why my pattern is this small. So do what you want, and do what you think would give you the results of what you're trying to achieve, if that makes sense. I know it does. So you guys just want to make sure that you have at the back of your mind the size of the braid you want to make, and that is what will give you a guideline, or would direct you to what to do or how to cut your braid. Guys, this entire process took me about 5 hours, but this first side I have 6 rows, and as it kept moving on to the middle, the number of the strand kept increasing. And if you look closely, that they're actually well arranged, well lined. So on this other side again, I just showed you guys the same thing that I did on the other side, which is also me making 6 rows. And the reason for this is because I don't want my braids to be fuller on one side and scanty on the other side. So I want it to be balanced. I want my braids to be the bomb. That's just it. I want my braids to be very nice. I want it to come out perfect, or close to perfect. So I'm just showing you guys how I am parting the 6 line on this side, and I went ahead to braid it into the smaller braid off camera because I just didn't want to bore you guys with that part. So the middle part is actually the very important and critical part. Also, if you notice that cutting it into 3 equal parts is going to give my braids at the end a free part, like whoever will be wearing the wig will be able to style it to whichever part they want, whether half parting, whether side parts, whether center parts. They will be able to do whichever part they want to do when installing this wig. And the reason for prepping your wig like this is, one, to make your work very fast. If after you have done all of this, once you want to start braiding your hair, it makes your job very, very easy. Imagine it is when you want to start braiding that you're now cutting. You cut one, you drop, you braid, you cut one, you drop, you braid. It actually takes longer time. But you see this one, now I've done this in one day. I'll do the other parts, and it just makes my work easier. Honestly, if I'm being truthful with you guys, it makes my work easier, and that is why I enjoy prepping my closure or my frontal before I start braiding. It makes my work very easier, and it makes my work very neat, and also it gives me like a foresight of what I want to do. Like, I can already imagine how perfect my wig will come out once I prep my closure or my frontal. So that's just the major reason why this part is very, very important. If you're not subscribed to my channel at this point, just click the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you know when next a tutorial upload is coming up, and that you don't miss anything. Like, you can't afford to miss these detailed tutorials on my channel. You can't. No, as in, you should subscribe. Let's learn from each other. Let us learn from each other. So you guys can see that I did that part off camera already, and honestly at this point, was I tired? No, I wasn't, because I was actually really motivated to make this wig. Like making this wig, like prepping this wig, was giving me joy. And I want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you that have taken their time to watch 1 or 2 videos on this channel, that has clicked the subscribe button, that has dropped a comment, that have I've had people ask questions and I've replied. I've had people send me DM and I've replied. I just want to say a big thank you to you guys for encouraging me, and you guys are the reason why I keep going. You guys are the reason why I want to share something new with you every week. No, actually every week, like twice a week. I share something new twice a week. So for the middle part now, the first thing I did was to divide the middle part into 2 equal parts. Now after dividing it into 2 equal parts, I went ahead to divide each part into 3. Do you guys understand? Like that whole middle part into 2, then each half into 3. So this is where I get my perfect center part, like my perfect center part. If you want to style it half parts, you're good to go. Whichever part you want to style it, this wig is going to give you that. And that was what I did. I also went ahead to braid it into the smaller braids off camera, because I can't be boring you guys with that. So that is basically everything I did in this video. And also I showed you guys at the end of this video the table stand that I am using. Like that table stand, or this table stand that my mannequin head is on, is so comfortable. Like this is very, very comfortable. If you watched my previous tutorial, you will notice that I used my tripod stand, which was not comfortable for me at all. It wasn't comfortable at all. But you see this one that I'll be showing you guys at the end of this video, so it's super comfortable. And I bought it I didn't buy myself, my mom bought it for me from Lagos. So is it in Abuja? It should be, and I think you might be able to get it from any online vendor, but I don't have any direct link to where you can get it. And this is what it looks like at the end, guys. So I have 18 rows in total, and this won't come out heavy because of the size of the braid I am making. Like I said earlier, the size of the braid I'm making is very small knotless braids. Small. You guys are going to see the picture, or you guys are going to see the tutorial. Actually, I'm going to upload the tutorial. So I have 9 on each side of the parts, making it 18. My math is correct. So guys, this is the wig stand, or will I say, I don't even know what to call it, but it's just very, very instrumental. It's very helpful, and it just makes the work very easy for me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in my very next video.